Folks, welcome to another great adventure. This road is bringing us here to Charleston, South Carolina for the 2018 film Halloween. We are here at the Magnet Military Academy. Our first stop is right here at the Military Magnet Academy, and I want to first off thank Jamal for getting us access to come here and film in the courtyard. Without him, we would not be able to get in. So Jamal, I appreciate it, man. You made my day. What you are looking at, folks, is inside the courtyard of the Magnet Military Academy. We're going to line up a few shots. This is where Michael Myers was institutionalized, right here. And it's a beautiful day for filming. Now right here is where the movie begins. You're going to see the podcasters come around that corner with the good doctor. And right above that area, you're going to see some barbed wire, and in the windows, there are bars. But in real life, there's no barbed wire here, and there are no bars, since kids actually go to school here. But you're going to see them come this way. They're walking towards us, looking for Michael. And they stop right about here. Now, if you notice in the scene from the movie, you're going to see the windows. The windows are a lot skinnier. I don't know if they did some CGI effect on them, but the windows are wider in person. But you're going to see Michael kind of standing right in the middle of your screen here. But if you notice up top, over to the right a little bit, right there, you're going to see that light on the roof. And in the center of the screen up top, you're going to see that HVAC unit. Right about this angle here, the podcasters and the good doctor are talking to Michael. But you're going to see those doors right behind him again. You're going to see those bars on the windows. It's right about here where I think Michael was standing, in this little red square right here. His back was facing the camera. He's facing that way. You can see all these windows. You can also see that little doorway right over there in the scene. Now, I may not have the exact square, but it's pretty dang close. Our next destination is right here in beautiful and historic Magnolia Cemetery right here in Charleston. This is where the grave of Judith Myers was. It was right here behind me. Not really easy to find. This cemetery is pretty dang big, but if you do come out here, all I can say is if you're facing the cemetery, when you come in the main gate, it's going to be to the northwest corner, back in there. And I'll show you a couple markers you can look for that'll kind of make it stand out. But yeah, the reason I found it, and it was pretty easy to find for me, I went to a website called setjetter.com. I've seen some of his stuff, and he's got some really, really good movie locations then and now, photographs. So he put a map on there of how to get to this specific site. So go to set-jetter.com and you can find it. That's what I went off of. So let's go find where Judith Myers was buried. Now, when you first come here to find this area, just look at that marker right there to the right, that tall one. That's going to be the George and Ann Wilson marker. It'll say their names right on the front. And then there's a little sign to the left that's off screen, to the left of that tree. It's going to be called McGee Trail. You can just park right there in this area. It's where Judith Myers' tombstone was.
Works at a graveyard not too far from here. They got war generals, philanthropists, a beatnik poet. They got Muddy Waters. Oh, and they got Bernie Mac.
So, when we first see this area, you're going to see the podcasters, and I think they're with the caretaker. Has to be the caretaker. But they're walking this way towards us, right past that tree. And what's cool, a little throwback to the original Halloween 1978, they're going to walk past the Sinclair tombstone, and you're going to see that very same tombstone in the original Halloween. So kudos to keeping that in the movie. The podcasters will come right towards us, and you're going to see that tombstone right there that says Matthias on it. And they come right down this little walkway. It's right here in front of us. It's where they put the Judith Myers marker. And you're going to see the Wilson marker sticking up right behind it. And here she lies. Now here's the thing. The podcasters are not alone out here in the graveyard. Michael Myers, he was standing right behind this tree. Now the tree is going to look a little different now because you see where that stump is right in the middle? There used to be a big long trunk coming out of it. It's been cut down, so that's not there anymore, but that was there in the movie. And when the caretaker looks over, she sees Michael standing there, and that long trunk that branched out hit his face. So you just see him here in his white outfit, standing there looking. Now another reason you know this is it, that tree right there, because you're going to see that gravestone, that marker right there in front of it, and over to the left, that little tomb is in the shot as well. And then there's that tree right there in the middle in the background. So that used to be the tree. Well, not used to be, it is the tree. It's just missing that long trunk that hid Michael's face. We are here to pay our respects. We're out here on Rivers Avenue at the Siesta Motor Lodge. It's a bit sketch. However, we're here anyway because it's a brief establishing shot you're going to see of the Motor Lodge right about here. And this is the lodge where the podcasters were staying. They were staying actually somewhere towards the back, and it was actually filmed here, the room, but we're not going to go back there. It's not too safe, so as you can tell, but this is it. This is where the podcasters were, right here at the Siesta Motor Lodge. Well, we're out here on Yeamans Hall Road here in Hanahan, South Carolina. And it's got some bad news. Look at this. This is the gas station from the movie. This is where the podcasters come to get gas. Also where they end up getting murdered. But it's also pivotal in the movie because this is where Michael retrieves his mask out of the trunk. Now you can tell this is the gas station. You can see the green trim up on the roof, but man, first off, it's closed down, and it looks like they're adding on to it or remodeling or doing something. I'm not sure, but it's fenced off, so I can't get any closer than where we are right now. So I'll do the best that I can to line up stuff here, but yeah, that really sucks. So what I can show you, when the podcasters pull over to get gas, you're going to see this right behind the male podcaster set. I don't remember his name in the movie, but we'll just call him the male podcaster. You'll see right behind him, you're going to see that shopping center in the distance here. And from another angle, as he's here getting gas, you see that building right back there in that fence. You're going to see that in the background as well. Now it's give or take right around here on the side of the gas station. You're going to see obviously that green trim up top, that little arch right there. There would be an ice machine right about the center of your screen, and over here to the right would have been the restrooms. Now what I do know, the restroom scene was not filmed actually in this restroom. It was filmed on a set. So, but it all happened right back there. And the male podcaster goes in that door right there to pay for the gas. It's where he sees the employee dead. Then he looks over into the garage, looks over here and sees the mechanic dead, stripped down to his underwear because Michael Myers stole his uniform. Yep, that happened right inside there. Unfortunately, this is as close as we can get. And right there where the gas pumps were, such a pivotal scene in the movie happens right there. After Michael kills the podcasters in the bathroom, that's where he goes out inside the trunk. That's where he gets back his mask, puts it on right about there, or somewhere in there. That's just, I can't really match anything up. But it happened there. I'll tell you something, it's really disappointing when you come to a filming location, especially one that you're really looking forward to seeing, and it's either A, it's completely gone and demolished, B, it's in the process of being demolished or fenced off or remodeled, which looks like that's happening here. I don't think they're demolishing it, at least from what I can tell. It looks like they're adding to it. I don't know what they're building, but you just really can't get on there and match anything up. You just do the best you can, but it really sucks. This happened to me on the Mist filming locations in Louisiana when we went to the supermarket. That was even worse, I think, because that whole supermarket was completely gone, out of here. It was all fenced off, so they were in the midst of building something completely different there, but it just really sucks. And I know a lot of YouTube folks who do filming locations have ran across this, feel that pain as well. Our next stop, we are out here in beautiful Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Beautiful blue skies, traffic is flowing, people are out and about, but we came over here for one reason only. We're outside Burton's Grill and Bar. And it's right about this shot here, you're gonna see Lori come out after she has a little spat inside with the family. She's gonna come out that door right here. And obviously you know that because you'll see the 1875 address. You're gonna see the lights right there. And if you look closely, you can see me in the background. That's my reflection. But yeah, you'll see Lori come walking right towards us. When she comes out, she comes right about here to that sidewalk. And the reason you can tell, you're gonna see in the background, you're gonna see the stoplight right there behind her. So her and her niece hug it out.
She said that she invited my grandmother tonight, but she didn't. I mean, she never even contacted her. How do you know? Because I called her myself.
We're out here on the corner of O'Hare Avenue and Alamo Street. This little section of the neighborhood is where we see Vicki, Allison, and Dave walking down the street. This is where Dave throws that big firecracker into the pumpkin and blows it right up. Now when you see him, you're going to see him walking down this sidewalk right here. You're going to see those two houses right there in the background. They walk right past this tree, headed this way. You're going to see that house in the middle of your screen here as well. They hang right here on Alamo Street. And they start walking right towards us. Right as they turn right onto Alamo Street, you're going to see them coming right towards us. You're going to see that fire hydrant right there in the background. And then right here to the left, you're going to see that little lamp. And over to the right now, you're going to see that tree. So everything's lining up real nice. And as they're walking right here down the sidewalk, you'll see that house there with the 3 windows and those 4 white columns. And they just keep headed right down this sidewalk. And it's right about there where they're going to stop and start talking amongst themselves. You see where that car is? You're going to see that little sidewalk in the scene, and over to the left are the hay bales with the pumpkins on them. This is also where it happens. Right about there over on the left, you're going to see the hay bales with the circle of ghosts. That's where Dave lights that firecracker, throws it in the pumpkin. They run off and it explodes. We are out here on Stalker Street here in Charleston, South Carolina, but before I show you our next location, I want to show you this moss. Isn't it beautiful? Just hanging from the trees. Now, when you see the street in the movie, the moss is not there, obviously, because it's Haddonfield, Illinois. Illinois is not known for their moss. Before I show you our next spot, just wanted to let you know, if you ever come out here and do a video, basically any filming location video out here on residential streets. Just be a little respectful. I mean, these people are living here. This is their house. You know, don't trespass unless someone gives you permission. You know, and there's kids in the area, don't film them. Just don't be a creep. Basically, don't be the creep. You don't want to be that guy on YouTube. So, that being said, let's show you the Nelson house. But right now we're going to focus on the Nelson house. This is Karen, Ray's, and Allison's house right here. And you only see it briefly in the movie, but you're going to see Karen pull in. You're going to see that house right there and that tree to the left. And right here, they pull into this house right here. This is 21 Stalker Street. Karen pulls her car in right there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe they also filmed the scenes inside this house. But for obvious reasons, we're not going to go knock on the door and bother any people. It's a private residences. And I had a chance to talk to a lady who was coming out of her house, you know, kind of inquired what I was doing. She told me a little history that she does see people come up here to, you know, get some photographs or do videos for Halloween. And, you know, very respectful, very nice lady, and I appreciate chatting with her. But look at this street, huh? It is something, and it's a beautiful day. Just beautiful here in Haddonfield, Illinois. All right, folks, we're out here on President Street. To me, this is one of the coolest parts of the whole movie, maybe in the whole Halloween franchise. I loved the way that it was filmed. This is where you see all the kids out on Halloween night trick-or-treating up and down the street. Two trick-or-treaters run into Michael. This is where he starts that killing spree, and it's like one continuous long shot, and it's so cool the way it was done. I loved it. But when he starts killing, he's going to start right over here at 330 President Street, and he's going to head that way. Now you're going to see him walk down that way. That awning is all lit up, and you see that little shed there in the background. And as Michael's walking that way, you're going to see a lady come out of that shed as well. She has no idea what she's in for. So after Michael makes his kill inside that house, he comes out that front door right there. Comes down this walkway, stops right here. And you're going to see that tree on the left-hand side. And he's looking this way. You're going to see that house with the 3 columns. Not the immediate one to the right, but the one after that to the right, past the golf cart. There's a couple getting in the car, and he starts heading that way. And as he heads this way, he takes a hard right and goes right up these steps right here. You're going to see that door. Same exact door. Michael goes over to the right. He sees some lady inside the house on her phone, and it's that window where he looks in. So Michael heads off. He goes down this alleyway right here to get in the backside of the house, but you see Michael's head through the window. You see him walk by, but you'll see that house on the right-hand side. You'll see those windows as well. And it's right there in that window, you're going to see the lady come looking out. She drops the blinds, but you see Michael come in behind her, grabs her by the back of the head, slams her head down, and he just jams his butcher knife right through her throat. What an awesome scene. That happened right through that window right there. So I just talked to another guy who lives on this street right next to the house where Michael starts walking back to the shed. He lives right next door. He was here when they were filming this whole scene. This whole street was decorated with Halloween decoration. He said it was really cool. But he was over on his fence looking over, watching them film, and he was watching Michael Myers stand right about here, and that's where the trick-or-treaters ran into him. He said how Michael was doing this with his head, looking around, and he said it was so cool. But one thing I gotta say, a lot of these locations here in the Charleston area, the people I've run into, super nice, super nice. I cannot tell you enough. So if you do come out here and film, come out here and see some of these locations. Again, you got to be respectful. People here are super nice. They were just, a couple people just asked me, hey, what are you doing? You know, just kind of told them. They were not surprised because they've had other visitors come out here for Halloween. So again, people of Charleston, thank you. Let's continue, shall we? Welcome to 478 Huger Street. There's a scene that took place behind this house right over here. A beautiful house it is. Now in this version of Halloween, this is the Elrod house. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, that's not the Elrod house that they showed in Halloween 2. Well, Halloween 2 did not take place in this current timeline of the Halloween trilogy. So this is the Elrod house now. But the scene where Michael kills Oscar is in the backyard. And the wrought iron gate is right here down this little alleyway. This is Sutherland Court. So let's head down that way. And I'll show you what stands there today. Right down here on the right. Now it's right here in the backyard. This is where Oscar tries to make a move on Alice and he tries to kiss her. She wasn't having any of that.
This is not.
She takes off, jumps over the iron gate that used to be here, which is now a wooden gate, leaves him behind. Well, that's when Michael Myers shows up and chases Oscar. He tries to climb said gate. He gets caught up. Michael catches up to him, stabs him right here. Now Allison hears all the ruckus. She comes running back down this alley to see where Oscar is. She sees his dead carcass hanging there. But right over here to the left, Michael shows up and she sees him right through the gate. Now, it's barely visible, but behind Allison is this house right here. It's a bit on the blurry side, but you do see it if you look really close. Once she sees Michael, she takes off running down this alley, and you're going to see that white house right there as well, with the two windows. And she heads off down this way. You know, I just made this observation. I got to let you know. This Elrod house, the side of it, if you look at those two windows up there. Doesn't it look like the Amityville house a little bit? Actually, not just a little bit, a lot. I don't know, let's see. Zoom in a little bit. You can see those windows right up there. Yeah, that's pretty wild. We are over here on beautiful Fenwick Drive. For one house in particular, or basically one scene in particular, but we're going to focus on that house right there. That is where the babysitter was babysitting Julian. And again, all the scenes that were actually done inside that house right there. But let me show you a few things that took place right here on this block. Now, first you're going to see Officer Hawkins pull up right about here. You're going to see that house with the arched entryway in the background. He kind of walks over here, across the street, to this house right here. Now, FYI, while Officer Hawkins is inside this house right here, Lori pulls up. She gets out, looks up at the second floor. We first see this window right here, but she looks across to the far right window, and that's where she sees Michael for the first time, standing right there. That's when you see Lori take out her gun and shoot at Michael through that top right window right there. You know what's funny? There's another Halloween fan right over here who just pulled up, taking a picture of this house. I'm telling you, man, these people were everywhere. Awesome. But that's the window Michael was standing in, that top right one. Now in the scene, you're going to see those two garage doors are open. All the cops have arrived. You'll see Dr. Sartan sitting right there, all the cops around him. But that all happened right there in that driveway. And everything inside happened right here in this house at 40 Fenwick Drive here in Charleston. We're out here on the corner of Monitor and Lancaster Road in North Charleston. In this scene, you're going to see Michael. He's wandering the streets of Haddonfield, but you're going to see him walking around. You're going to see this fence line to his left and those houses right there in the background. Or technically, it's in front of them. And you're going to see Dr. Sartain, Allison, and Hawkins come down that street right there. And that's when they spot Michael. And it's right about this angle right here. Michael gets nailed by the Officer Hawkins' car. He's laying right here on the sidewalk. And it's right about here Dr. Sartain gets out of the police car to check on Michael. And this is the scene where he's no longer the good doctor. Now, not to give anything away, but you know, if you haven't seen it by now, I don't know what to tell you. Go watch it. But yep, this is where it happens, right here. Now, after Sartain stabs Officer Hawkins and leaves him for dead right here on this sidewalk, he picks up Michael's carcass, drags it behind me to the police car, throws him in the back seat with Allison, and takes him to Laurie Strode's house. Now, I want to let you know, think you're going to see Laurie Strode's house in this video? It's not going to happen because it's no longer there. It's been demolished. Actually, that whole wooded area where the house stood, all that property, it's all gone. It's being redeveloped. So there's no point of even going out there. It's nothing to see. And it's unfortunate because I really would have loved to see it. I know some videos that were made on the Halloween filming locations were able to go out there. They were even able to go inside the house and document some of the scenes that were filmed inside, but we can't do either of them. So it's unfortunate, but I just wanted to let you know that. Let's carry on, shall we? Now, when Hawkins drives his police car up through here down from that road there, he came up this dirt path right here, but at the time these poles were not here. So it was a clear-cut shot when he came up here to hit Michael, but it looks like these poles are fairly new. They're nice and shiny. They got locks on them, but it's like these were put here not too long ago. Well, if you haven't seen Halloween, the 2018 sequel, which is a direct sequel to the 1978 Halloween, watch it. I don't know what you're waiting for. If you're a horror fan, it's great. Now, the two sequels that follow, they're not bad. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. I particularly didn't like the way it concluded. But the first Halloween in this trilogy, by far the best. So if you haven't watched it, I encourage you, go check it out. It's, to me, a great entry in the Halloween franchise. Loved it. And I figured this would be a perfect place to wrap up. I'm standing where Judith Meyer's marker was constructed for the film. Standing on it right now. So, from Magnolia Cemetery, the site of Judith Meyer's. We'll see you down the road.